Hi there, Amanda. Okay, for your reading, I'm using two different decks. Since this is a reading about a relationship, I'm using the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue, but I'm also using it in combination with the Tarot. And I'm using the Wizard's Tarot, which is a new deck that I just purchased a few days ago. And I haven't used it in my readings yet, so you're going to be the first person to get a reading using this deck. And you had quite a few jumping cards from the Romance Angels, and you had two from the Tarot. So let's go ahead and take a look at your cards. The first card is Transfiguration, and this is the Death card in the traditional Tarot. And the Death card usually means a major change, a transformation of something from something into something else completely different. And in regards to relationships, this can mean marriage or divorce or just a major change. Now, in your case, I really tuned into the card. Let me just tune in with the camera here so you can see what I'm talking about. When I tuned into this card for you, what I'm getting is the feeling of rising, of the relationship changing, but having to rise to a new level. And of course, that's going to take work from both parties. If you look at this card, there's this wizard, and he has both of his hands out, and I'm getting the feeling of almost him taking off. Part of him right here, I don't know if you can see, but part of him has already kind of he's transforming as he's getting ready to kind of rise, and he's going to be transformed by death. And I'm getting the feeling of the relationship having to rise to a new level, both of you having to rise to a new level in order to save the marriage. And I do get that it can be saved, and I had that feeling as soon as I saw this card. And I was drawn to all the white in this card. There are 4 white flowers right here and 2 white candles. And for me, white is purity. And so there's going to have to be some type of purification in the relationship, a lot of healing, but it has the potential to rise to a new level and to experience major change. As long as both of you are kind of willing to compromise together and kind of rise above your differences. So this is the card from the Romance Angels that I pulled for you, and it's keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Now, what I'm getting from this card is you have to keep an open mind about how the relationship is going to work itself out. Try not to focus too much on how you want things to happen. You may have an idea of how you want things to work out, or where you want the relationship to go, or when you want this relationship to get back together. The divine has their own way of making things happen, and only they know when things will happen. So kind of try to detach a little bit is what I'm getting from this card, of how you think things are going to work out, because things always happen a lot different from what we expect, and it's usually in a better way, in some type of way that we could never imagine. So what I'm really getting is just detach how you think this relationship will be saved. Now, the other card that you had was a jumping card, and it's the 6 of Swords. And right away, this tells me that, this confirmed my feeling that I had from the first card. The relationship can be saved, because this card is it has many meanings. The Tarot has so many different meanings, but one of the meanings for this card is a reconciliation between 2 people. So this tells me immediately that yes, the relationship can be saved. And this is a card about moving from one place to another, which is interesting, because that's what I said in this card, where I had the feeling of the relationship rising to a new level. And so this tells me that this relationship has the ability to move to a new phase, as long as you kind of keep an open mind and compromise, which is the message here in the middle. When I tuned into this card for you, what I was really drawn to was the way the couple is sitting together and looking in the same direction. So that tells me that kind of on some level, it might not be apparent right away, but both of you want the same thing. They're together, this couple, but they're not touching, but they're looking in the same direction. And what I'm also drawn to is the boat itself, and kind of the feeling of movement, that in order to move this relationship to a new level, there's going to have to be compromise. It's like right in the middle of your reading. there's a possibility of movement in both of these cards here, and change for the better, because the Six of Swords is always a change for the better. It's a move. For some people it may mean a physical move to a new location, but for you it's kind of a move, a kind of an emotional move. The relationship moves to a new level, and that's a feeling I'm getting from both of these cards, because this is a major change, and this is also a major change because it's a relationship moving to a new level, as long as you keep an open mind and kind of compromise. So let me show you the cards from the Romance Angels that jumped out of the deck for you. This is New Love, and the card reads, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Okay, and I've seen this card so many times before. I've pulled it for myself, for other people, for my readings on YouTube, but I never was drawn to the rose, and that was the first thing that I was drawn to when I tuned into this card for you. And roses are always about love, and when I'm looking at this card, I'm seeing one person is more receptive to getting back together than the other, and the person who's not very receptive is being surrounded by angels. Because in this card there's this man and he's presenting this rose to this woman, but she's not very receptive because she's busy. She's carrying 2 baskets, is kind of just walking down the street. So I'm really getting that one of you is more receptive to getting back together than the other, but that person who's not very receptive is kind of being worked on right now by your spirit guides and romance angels are trying to guide that person to make a different choice if they're thinking of ending the relationship, because I'm really getting that this isn't meant to end yet. And I didn't mention it. I had to film this video twice because of little problem here that I had. But I mentioned in the first reading that I did for you that I had to do over, that I was drawn to the way in this card that these 2 ladies seem more receptive to the romance than the man. Like, the man looks very serious. He has a very serious look on his face, and the ladies are kind of very chatty and happy. And I had the feeling of one partner being more receptive than the other, which is the same feeling that I had right here. So that just confirms, that one of you is more willing to work it out, and the other is kind of has doubts or maybe doesn't know what to do. But there's an angel, romance angel hovering here, and so just know that you have help if it's you that really really want things to work out, and he's not open to it right now. Know that he's being worked on right now by his angels. So this is the other card that jumped out of the deck for you from the Romance Angels, calling in your soulmate. And this is a beautiful card. It says your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. And when I look at this card, I'm drawn to the way the first angel has her hands up in the air, and I'm getting the feeling of rising again from this. I had the same feeling from this card, from the Death card, of the feeling, just look at these 2 cards together. They even have their arms, he has his palms up like this, and she has them up too, but kind of raising them up. I'm getting the feeling again of rising to a new level, as long as you keep an open mind. And this card mentions prayers, and prayers raises your vibration, and kind of affirmation saying we will get back together, and just keep that positive attitude. And this card, when I saw this card for you, I got the feeling that you and your husband have been together before in a previous life, and that might be the reason for some of the challenges you're having right now. This reminded me of my own marriage. My husband and I have been together in another life. This was first confirmed by an intuitive, but I was able to recall, for some reason, just a couple of days ago, where that life took place. So I'm really getting that you and your husband have some kind of karmic history that maybe is playing out in this life, and you're just going to have to really stay positive and do a lot of work. There's going to be a little bit of work in this relationship in order to save it, in the form of staying positive and compromising and rising above all the differences that you have. Okay, so this other card, and you're almost getting ready to run out of time. This is the other card that jumped out of the deck for you, and it's the final card. It's the 2 of Cups. This is also a symbol of reconciliation. So this tells me that you guys will be able to work it out. This is a card of love, of harmony, of peace, and just a union of 2 people, a very happy union, and a marriage. Okay, so this is very positive. It tells me that it's going to work out. You're just going to take a little bit of work and staying positive, but it's going to work out. Okay, I'm getting ready to run out of time. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it was helpful. Bye.